What's up, everybody? It's Ryan, the Pool Pro, and today I want to talk to you about an exciting change in our industry that is starting to evolve into the industry standard, and that is recycling your pool water, or ROing your pool water. This is something that needs to happen in order to save our precious resource of water. And basically what it does, it's a trailer that pulls the water from your pool, eliminates everything inside of it, takes it down to zero, returns the water back to your pool, and that way the pool water now is extremely fresh and has nothing like total dissolved solids, any phosphates, calcium, hardness, anything like that. Now, Steve explains in this video what he does before, during, and after, and how to do this process, and we're gonna jump right into it because there's a lot of information in this video and it is exciting for the industry. Before we get started, I wanna say thank you to Steve Ward. I've always looked up to you. You're a great guy. You can tell that you're passionate about this industry. It was very fun getting to spend the day with you and learn about this process, and thanks so much. I've always looked up to you in this industry. I know when I question things or have questions about things, it's nice to be able to reach out to you, ask you questions, and I really thank you for all your knowledge and everything that you're willing to share with me. So check out this video. If you would like to contact Steve Ward, his information is in the description below. Reach out, give him a follow, give him a shout out, ask him questions if you have them, and check this out.
We are purifying the homeowner's pool water instead of draining it. This trailer is an alternative to draining a pool. We have to, here in Arizona, we have to drain a pool, or I'd rather say recycle the water, every 1 to 2 years. Our cyanuric acid gets out of hand, our calcium gets out of hand, our total dissolved solids get out of hand, phosphates. This system will remove, at worst, it will lower almost everything you can think of, but it pretty much removes it. We do a before and after test of your standard pool chemicals: chlorine, pH, alkalinity, calcium hardness, total dissolved solids, nitrates, phosphates, salt reading, conductivity. I think that's all we have on the test. This will, I've taken pools that are 12, 13,000 TDS and dropped the TDS down to 500 or 600. Not what these are necessarily designed for. They're designed for, the ultimate pool would be 3,000 to 4,000 TDS, 70-degree water, calcium hardness of maybe 600, 800, somewhere in there. And Arizona, for any of you that know anything about Arizona water, our tap water comes out oftentimes harder than that. We've had pools where we've tested the calcium in excess of 3,000. We've had TDS in excess of 10,000 on several pools. These RO membranes, the sheets on them actually state 10,000 TDS maximum. The designer of the trailer basically smiles and says, let's try it. So we'll push the limits a little bit. We can't conserve as much water on a pool that's got 10,000 plus TDS. It's too much to carry out. The total dissolved solids leave the pool water through brine waste. That's our waste. That's what we lose out of this whole process. So it's a great alternative to draining. We're going to create water that's better than what the city gives us. We get to dictate what the water is. We get to reconstruct the water. So with pool waters, chemistry readings, whether you're a homeowner going to the pool store, whether you're a pool guy out there poolside and you're having problems with the pool water, and you do a chemistry test and you find out your calcium's high, total dissolved solids are high, cyanuric acid's high. Those are probably our 3 number 1 reasons of why we drain a pool. That's what we're going to do with this system, is we're going to lower all of those. The RO membranes are going to reduce all of those numbers. Very good, very effective, while we're actually recycling, salvaging water. We're not throwing it all away. So we're being environmentally friendly by saving a resource This is my high-tech tool that I found somewhere to keep my bag from floating up. All of us pool guys, we tend to be masters of so many different things. We run to our truck for whatever we can to find something to help us along the way. And here in this trailer that's basically a house mortgage, we use a rock. Kind of like in your skimmer baskets. Some of you guys all have skimmers that your basket has a rock. So, a couple years ago, I've been in the pool business since the 90s, getting a little older instead of younger, and I was trying to find out what can I do to keep going in this business, because I love it. Getting a little older, getting a little tired, I wanted to find a way to work smart, not hard, and I came across an article that talked about saving pool water without draining it, and so I was intrigued. I thought that sounds pretty cool. And so I read some articles about this. This one's out of Pure Water Industries out of Vista, California. Drove out to San Diego and I met Bruce, who built this. We talked about it. I went to a job site, stood in a trailer just like this, and it just made sense that here in the desert we drain our pools, and we don't. I've drained millions of gallons since the 90s. And while I look at that as a money maker for a business, I look at it as a way to make our swimming environment better. It's wasteful. I had a hard time with that. So when I came across this, I thought, wow, that could be my work smart, not hard, not save the planet, but save some, at least something. And this trailer's been on the road for almost 2 years, and we've saved several million gallons of water. So I'm doing something for the environment while I'm doing something for my family, trying to provide a living. These are not a small investment. These trailers, I don't think you can get into one of these trailers for under 100 grand. They go all the way up into the $300,000 range. So you're buying a house. What it can do, we get customers that call us the next day. Wow, I've never seen my water look that good. This polishes the water. You look at what a clarifier does. Sometimes you'll throw some clarifier or a flock or something in a pool, and you see the benefits where your water looks amazing. This trailer, this process of what this does, we walk back in the backyard the next day, and having done, like I said, millions of gallons of water, it's still exciting for me to walk through this gate the next day and look at the pool and say, that's some clean water. Homeowners go swimming in it and they call up and say, that's some of the smoothest water I've ever swam in. We've got one homeowner that texted me and he says, I've already been out swimming 3 different times in my Dasani drinking water pool, is how he actually said it on the text message. We've done a pool for a well-known swimmer. He said it seems to swim smoother and faster. It's just, it's cool. You walk back the next day and you see that water just, it's popping, it's polished. There's no better water. I had a customer who actually had a dog that wouldn't drink the pool water anymore. And while I told him that's not such a bad thing, he says, but the dog used to always drink my pool water. And I got back the next day and he says, big smile on his face. He says, my dog's drinking the pool water again. It must be good. And so that was kind of funny. But that was one that the difference in that pool, he thought his pool looked good. I looked at it and I saw all the imperfections in the plaster, but the water was cloudy. And he says, no, my plaster's great. I walk in the next day and I said, how you doing? He says, not so good. I said, why is that? He says, I see just how bad my pool is now. I've never seen my water this clear, and now I can see how bad my plaster is. So while I'm excited for my water, now I see my plaster is not in such great shape. Tons of stories. It's fun. This is a business that I got into it to do something different for myself, but to offer something different for my homeowners. It's exciting. I enjoy it. I love talking to the homeowners. That's what it's all about. It's time to get this thing going and make this water, it's going to sparkle. have any adverse effect like thiosulfate does down the road if I use too much. This is also part of the feed tank that's in the trailer. Some of this gets mixed in with the anti-scalant. The trailer's got a sensor that picks up the ORP reading of the water. Tells us if we've taken it down far enough, and if not, we'll add a little bit more, and it'll take it right down within minutes. By the time I put it in the water and go back to the trailer, and I can tell if the sensor's happy with the readings on the ORP. I've also got the automation system hooks up to the phone on a 4G network, so I can actually bring my phone right back here and change settings on the pumps. Look at the ORP. I could stand here and watch the ORP if I wanted to. I could go home and watch it and tell someone else to do it if I wanted to. But I like doing this, so I usually do the trailer myself. It's fun. It's different. It's enjoyable. I love doing this. It's fun. After 20 years of skimming, this is fun. It's different. Keep skimming them. What we do when we have a pool and spa combo is we take the pool equipment, drain the spa down into the pool, and then the first water that comes back from the trailer will actually refill the spa, so the spa has all the new water in it from the trailer. And then once the spa is full and spilling over, we'll actually put our return back to the shallow end of the pool. The way the system works is it'll actually work in layers. We'll pull the water from the deepest part of the pool and we'll return it up at the shallow end. We're not supposed to do green pools. I've done one or two of them just to try it, and those are the pools you can actually see the layering. You go back halfway through it, we return to the top of the pool. The layering effect of the new water versus the old water, as good as this pool looks, we're going to call this the dirty water. You don't see it as much on a pool like this because it's such good looking water already, but when we did that green pool, it actually, halfway through it, the top of the pool was as clear as this, and you looked across and you could see the layer of the green water still down on the bottom. And so that really helped me understand more about how this layering works. The bottom, this pool's testing out at around, it was between 5,000 and 6,000 TDS, and so the water will come in, the clean water come from the trailer at probably on the first pass probably 90% less than that, and that'll lay on top of this. The clean water weighs less than the dirty water, so it'll lay right on top of it. And so we return the spa water first so that we're all done with the spa, and then the pool, it'll just run itself the rest of the way through the night. We'll actually set this up and let the trailer do its thing all through the night, and we'll come back tomorrow when it's finished and roll it all back up, turn the pool back on and start blending all the water and do a final water test on it. And if we have to add some calcium back to it at that point, we will. If we have to reverse osmosis water inherently, whether you're drinking a bottle of water from the store or whether you're talking these trailers for the pools, the alkalinity is going to drop. I can start at 200 alkalinity and it's going to finish between 30 and 60 almost every single time. The pH is always going to be on the acidic side, just by nature, once again, of the reverse osmosis process. You take a bottle of Aquafina or Dasani or any brand that you want and you do a chemical test on it, you're going to find it to be acidic and low alkalinity, and that's no different than what we're doing with this. So we do have to rebuild it tomorrow. Baking soda, bicarb, alkalinity increaser, whatever you buy, wherever you're buying it from, but it's baking soda. We'll raise up the alkalinity. That'll bring the pH up a little bit with it, and then we'll monitor that. We'll add some chlorine to it tomorrow because chlorine's already gone, but the process will take out whatever I missed with the granular there. the RO is going to strip the rest out. And so we're going to do a couple more things here for setup, and we're going to fire this baby up. So when we get phone calls for our service, oftentimes first question that comes out of somebody's mouth is, how much does this cost? The cost on these run an average of about $550 to $650 for a pool. The one behind us right now, you're looking at about $550. Homeowners will oftentimes equate that to, I gotta pay my pool guy a couple $100 to come over and drain it. I gotta pay my water bill. Why would we pick this service over a drain when it's going to cost more money? And our answer to that is, obviously we're saving a natural resource. Water is one of those things, if you watch the news, Arizona gets its water from Lake Mead and Colorado River. They're not doing real well. So we're saving our resource rather than draining the pool. One of the other things that we talked about earlier of how this system works, we can actually give you better water than what the tap water that you get from the city out of your garden hose that you're gonna fill your pool with. We can do it every single day of the year. You're not supposed to drain a pool once you get too warm in the summer because the pool's meant to stay hydrated. This doesn't expose the interior. We're not gonna drain anything. The pool's gonna stay the same level as you see out here for the whole time that we're doing this, which is usually an average of an overnight. This pool is about 18,000 gallons. And my guesstimate on the run time for this pool, it's going to take approximately 20 hours. The water's a little cold right now. It's high TDS, that slows it down. A little less TDS, warmer water, it takes less time. But in any event, we're going to be in and out in essentially an overnight time. You can't hardly drain a pool and refill a pool faster than what we can do this process. You can't get as good a quality water as what we can give with this process. And you're wasting the entire amount of water, and then you're gonna bring that whole water back in. So if you're gonna drain 18,000 gallons, you're throwing 18,000 away, you're gonna call 18,000 back in, so you're a 36,000 gallon imprint. And so the environment's friendly, we're friendly to the environment. Cost-wise, it's not that much more. Bigger pools obviously cost more. We usually do up to 20 to 25,000 gallons in a price like that. If it's a bigger pool, we have an add-on of usually about $30 per 1,000 gallons afterwards. If it's a really big pool, we've done some of these pools that are 80,000, 100,000 gallon pools. We'll get into a lower cost point there to make it even a little bit. We work with pool guys, we work with homeowners, we work with commercial properties. If it's a pool or a spa, we'll pretty much do it. We can't do a green pool. We're not your green pool cleanup people. We can clean the pool up ahead of time and then come in and do our process. But this process is not made for a green pool cleanup. We've got to do it a different way than what we're doing here today. We work with pool guys all the time. We'll get pool guys that'll see us driving down the road, and they'll get that same question I got when I first saw something like this in a magazine. What is that? And I'll get a pool guy be driving down the road and say, hey, I'm driving behind this trailer that says Arizona Pool Water Recycling. What is this? And I'll explain the process to him, and he'll ask, what does that cost? Go through all that scenario. But we work with other pool guys. We give them a kickback. I don't expect to come in on a pool guy's customer's house, do all the business for him, and him not get anything. So we give a kickback. Minimum kickback, I'm gonna give a guy's $100. If it's a bigger job, I'm gonna give them usually about 10% of the job. So you still stand to make some money. You don't have to do anything. If you want to do a wholesale price on it and you market whatever you want to for your homeowner, and you want to do all the chemicals at the end and make a couple dollars that way, we're flexible. The one guarantee that we have on every single pool guy out there, pool girl, whoever, we will not do any work that you did not authorize. I don't care if your homeowner comes out and says, hey, will you put this on my pool for me? You're already here. I won't do it unless you tell me you're going to do it, because it's your customer. I don't want to infringe on that. That's a promise that I give. I will not do work
on your customer's pool without your permission. Our service area, it covers everywhere in the state. We've actually been out of state before. If customers willing to pay the travel fee, we've gone outside of the state before. Obviously there's going to be hotel expenses, mileage charges, but anywhere in the Phoenix Metro, we don't add a mileage charge, but once we get out of the Phoenix Metro, we're going to charge a mileage charge accordingly. We're in Tucson in 2 weeks, I think, and the customer doesn't feel comfortable with us leaving everything behind and coming back to Phoenix without her having the comfort in herself knowing that we're right there. So she's paying the bill for us to stay a mile down the street from her house at the hotel, so she knows that if something goes wrong, we're a mile away. We're easy to accommodate any customer's request. We pretty much do everything we can to make sure everybody's satisfied, whether it's a homeowner or a pool guy. Some of the times that we feel this is a better choice, we get calls all the time. Last night's run that we did was out in Apache Junction. It was a well water pool. His property is on septic, his water is on well. His only option is to drain his pool out into the desert. Some areas don't actually approve of that. Then he's got to call water trucks to come in at a couple thousand gallons maximum per water truck. And on a diving pool, that can take quite a long time. We go in there and overnight, we turn that pool into drinking water quality overnight. We lost a few thousand gallons of water, but we didn't lose. That was a 21,000 gallon pool. And so that was a perfect example of where this works really well. When you get into some of these properties where you might have City of Mesa, I tested some tap water. It was 600 parts per million of calcium coming right out of the tap. National standards say we're supposed to get rid of the water at 400. This guy's starting at 600. He cannot get better than 600. We can give him, we could turn him 0 if we wanted to, but we can't give 0 calcium readings to a pool. That's gonna destroy the interior. So we take it down as low as we can, rebuild it back up to a safe number, somewhere close to 200 parts per million of calcium, and he gets the best bang for his buck, again, overnight, middle of the summertime. Stuff that you can't do with a normal drain and reef. My perspective of the future of this process, I read articles about the Colorado River, Lake Mead. You fly into Vegas, you fly right over Lake Mead and you look at it. We bank water there, here from Arizona, we bank water. When you look at the future of the swimming pool for Arizona, at least I look at Arizona, I think we're looking at something where this needs to be the choice for the future. Being wise with the water, we're running out of water, we got more people moving into this part of the valley every day. We got more pools being built every day. Eventually we're gonna run short on water. And this is a way, if we're saving millions of gallons with this trailer, the more that people turn to this process, the more we're saving. So I think it can make a difference for the future, and I think that if we don't do something different proactively, I think we're gonna get there ourselves all on our own. So I think this is definitely the way of the future. I think it's the best choice. I always tell people I can't do it as cheap as the city can deliver it to you, but I can do it better. If everything in Arizona tends to follow what California follows, these trailers are built in California. We brought it to Arizona, just like everything else from California seems to make it to Arizona. When you look at some of the areas in San Diego and Los Angeles, they've had water restrictions. They have said you cannot drain and refill your pool. You only get so much water per week. You want to decide if it goes in your pool or if it goes on your plants. If Arizona adopts something like that, we've got several 100,000 pools here. I think we're going to run into a problem if our evaporation rate is 8+ feet a year. One summer your pool's empty. If we get water rations, we can't add water to our pools. Now we're going to start causing our pool interior to be damaged because the water's evaporating. Do I think the government will place any kind of a law on that? I don't know. You hear them talking about the droughts. We've been in a drought, but we've been somewhat good with our water, but they are talking that it's not replenishing enough to stay ahead of it. And so if we don't get enough rain and enough snow to help that, yeah, I think it could happen. I think they could start saying you can't drain your pool. And if that happens, we have an option, and it's these RO trailers. So next time you need to drain your pool, RO your pool, be green, stay blue.
All right, there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, a lot of knowledge. This is something that needs to happen. This needs to change and revolutionize our industry. And you can find all Steve's information in the description, arizonapoolwaterrecycling.com. His Instagram's down there. Reach out to him and show him some love. Again, Mr. Ward, thank you so much for allowing me to come by and film you and your crew while you guys do this. You can tell that you're extremely passionate about this, and I really enjoyed watching you and filming you and learning what you do. Till the next time, just keep skinning.